First 5 minutes, poor. We got smacked in the face. We didn't react. Took us 5-10 minutes later to react. We get the goal, and then again, just a little bit of a switch off. I think the second half, again, far much better. But we have to make sure that we're ready to go from the get-go.
Feels like this is kind of becoming a theme, right? Like each game you start a little bit slowly and then fight back later on in it. What do you think is behind those slow starts?
Well, if I knew, then we would have started better, wouldn't we? I mean, that's the beauty of the game. For me, the biggest thing is it's a process, right? So a process is going to take time, but we have to start better.
Guesha went down with an injury in the middle of the first half. Any updates on that?
He's getting checked by the doctors right now.
As you said, after the goal, there was a lot of relentless pressure, and of course, 2 minutes after that first goal, Rhode Island scored a second, and then you guys came fighting back, and then obviously you guys were chasing that third goal to win the game. What was the message you gave to your players at halftime?
Well, in football, the first thing you have to do is you have to win your duels. And I think we didn't win enough duels in first half. I think we got far better second half. And I think we were also in the final third, we did create it more than them, but also that little bit of a finishing touch was lacking. So I'm not worried in a sense of, I would have been worried if we're not creating or playing. That for me would have been a worry. But now is to understand, all right, you're playing, you're creating, now also take care of your chances and make sure that you don't give much away. Because I don't think we give away much, but some of what we give away, they punish us. It's simple.
You shift the shape at halftime to more of a 4-4-2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, what was sort of the thought behind that decision? Was it, you talked about winning the duels,
Mm-hmm.
Was it maybe to move Sacco into more of a central area to help him win the ball in the air? What was your thinking with that?
No, our thought process was now we wanted the center backs to have the ball, because we believe that with the center backs trying to make the play, that would be much more easier. And obviously when we bring Marga, we're not going to put Sacco wide, because also he's a versatile striker who can play winger, but also in the middle. So we looked at it, and to have him and that presence with him and Remy on top, to unstabilize their backline a little bit. I think we did that by creating that, but I think we could have been more forceful with a little bit of the chances we had. Because Tico got through where you expect him to score when one time he came in. Marga, we expected him to go 1v1. So, but the biggest thing I can tell about this group is, again, we're seeing the character. We're seeing the character and the drive from the boys. I'd rather us go front than being behind, but everything will take time. So that's one thing I'm very proud of them.
How cool was it for Jameson to be able to make his first professional start on his birthday too?
Unbelievable. I mean, that's an unbelievable feeling. But the biggest thing is he deserved it, right? He's worked his tail off in the preseason, and he's worked himself into being a starter with JP and Carl out. So he fully deserved it,
What kind of, what does that show for maybe other young players who want to be like Jameson?
I hope he shows hunger and desire to even want to take his place, or rest of these other of his teammates. That's the way it should be. Because for us to able to be that football club that we want to be, we also have to look within ourselves and give the opportunities. Because I know there's a lot of great young footballers running around in Phoenix, even in our academy. So for us, it's about utilizing that, because you are as good as your academy.
Una en español. ¿Cómo te sientes después de este partido? Un partido reñido, con muchos duelos por el aire. ¿Cómo te sentiste consiguiendo este punto?
Para mí, yo mira que el carácter del grupo es el segundo tiempo, él juega bien. Primer tiempo no juega bien, no perdió mucho de duelos. Para mí es muy importante el equipo entiendo el fútbol cuando uno juega bien, c'est difficile. Rhode Island, année passée, ils sont campeons de Eastern. Il juega final. So, para todos los partidos, es muy fácil.
Otra pregunta en español. Coach Pa, ¿cuál fue tu parte favorita o cuál fue la mejor parte de tu equipo el día de hoy y qué quieres mejorar para el próximo partido?
Para mí es difícil mirar solo más de individual. Yo miro mucho de grupo. Esta desde do equipo. Para mí, equipo en un carácter de equipo se lo muy bien. Para mí es muy importante continuar el juego.
Pa, tú hablas sobre el proceso del equipo y después de este partido, ¿tú piensas que es un paso adelante en ese proceso?
Equipo es un equipo jóvenes. Para equipos jóvenes es muy importante tiempo y paciencia. Está por el proceso. Este proceso no venir a un día. ¿Entiendo? So, es muy importante ponerse mucha confianza en el proceso todo el día.
Coach, what did you make of Noble tonight, starting as that single pivot and then shifting into the double pivot in the second half?
Well, we trust Noble in that because he's versatile enough to play, and he played in that position. So I was not worried about him playing. You know, for him, obviously, you miss JP, you miss Carl, 2 series, so we can put him high up. I think that we know what we have in the players and the multiple positions that they can play. So that's just help us. So for me, I was okay to see what it is. I know he has more, and he knows that he has more, and he will bring more.
Coach, how did you feel about your wingers' performance? They were very lethal, made some great crosses, and of course Rivera scoring his first goal of the season. How did you feel about those crosses and just constant threats that they provided throughout the game?
I mean, like I said, that's what you want from your wingers, to score goals and assist, and we're very pleased with Damien scoring a goal because he's been dangerous. He could have had 2, and him in those positions, yeah, you expect him to score, to be fair, because he shows and do it in training. But we're very happy for him to get his first goal, and I think he's just going to keep growing from there. So like I say, we're getting our strikers to score goals, which is very important for this group.
Obviously, you've been quite coy in recent weeks about the injury situation with the team. You see a lot of youngsters in the matchday squad today. You know, where is the team really at the moment in terms of injuries?
The main proper injuries we have is just JP and Casey. You know, Ryan, unfortunately, he broke his hand. There's nothing you can do about those things, right? He needed to get a surgery, but this is football, right? Some people got to stand up, and some of my youngsters are standing up. So for me, it's a process, right? Rome was never built in one day. So anything you do in life, you got to trust the process. And you know, at the end of the day, November 25th is when we want to stand.
I mean, going back to any injury from today, I know you don't have full details on that, but is that something you think is a re-aggravation of what he was dealing with earlier?
Well, I don't know. I don't know until I've spoken to our athletic coaches to get the proper assessment. When they give me the proper assessment, I will know.
Any other questions in the room?
So do you have a motto that you use when you guys are in the locker room practice? Like, what's your motto that you use in this year for encouraging the players?
You don't need a motto. Life itself is a blessing, so make the best out of it. Never take anything for granted.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Bob.